Okay, here we are. So this map now is Migdol, if I'm not mistaken. That's the 3rd round map. And Migdol is, as you can see, it's a bit different from Armavir. You don't have these 2 patches that surround kind of the middle plane, but you still have some smaller patches of woods, but this is mostly open. Of course, it's perfectly flat. That's something you really want in a competitive match. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Alright, we got it. Alright, so it's going to be Rome versus Baktria, and it's going to be Kaldazur from the Gerudo clan against VoidDragon from the Sith clan. This is the 3rd match, or the 3rd round of the winner's bracket. Okay, here we go. Alright, so Rome versus Baktria. Obviously, Baktria having more firepower in the cavalry department. You got elephants. Rome has elephants, but obviously Bactria's elephants are better if you bring the elite ones. And cavalry in general is also better. Yeah, of course, Rome has the Praetorian Cav with the Draco ability, but I haven't seen that too many players are bringing that. They bring maybe just one Praetorian cavalry just for the Draco. Mostly it's cheaper cavalry, you know, like Soci Equite Extraordinary Auxiliary Cavalry, something cheaper. But Baktria, on the other hand, they have extremely powerful shock cavalry, very expensive of course, but extremely powerful. But also their melee cavalry is one of the best. It was so good that it actually got nerfed in the previous patch, I think. The noble cavalry, the horsemen, they were really good melee cavalry for the cost, because it's like 700, 800 denarii, so not even that expensive. In the infantry, the infantry department, that's what's going to be the problem for Baktria, of course, because Rome has just so many units and so cost effective that you're not going to be able to. As Baktria, you're going to have a really hard time defending, because your best chance against this melee infantry from Rome is with pikes. And Baktria has a pretty good selection of pikes, you know, Levite pike, regular pikemen, you know, has decent pikemen, but again, it's all in the micro of the pikes, making sure they are in the right position and always get charged from the front. That's where they're going to be effective. Otherwise, you're really going to have a hard time dealing with Rome. Okay, so one of them is ready. We're just going to wait for the second player to be ready. Alright, so we're on our way. Let's take a look at Bactrian army of VoidDragon. So we got 3 missile cav on the left wing, Scythian horse archers, 2 Bactrian noble horse, the one I was talking about, Indian armored elephants. Then the infantry line is 3 Bactrian hillmen, then 4 thorax swordmen, and then 1 unit of Bactrian peltists, and then Bactrian noble horses and Bactrian royal cavalry. Just 4 melee cav, 1 shock cav, and I'm surprised we don't have any pikes. No pikes, just swordmen. I don't know how that's going to play out against Roman infantry. Let's take a look at Kaldazur's army. So we have in the front, what is this? Veteran legionnaires, Hastati, veteran legionnaires, Vigiles, and then auxiliary. We got 2 units of slingers and 2 units of Syrian archers. A lot of missiles, 5 missiles actually 6 missiles for Rome. Now let's look at the cavalry. 2 Soci Equite and auxiliary cavalry on the left wing. And then we have auxiliary cavalry and Soci Equite, the same thing on the right flank. We also have a couple units of gladiator, veteran legionnaires, obviously the general, and a Hastati unit in the back. So the infantry really, I wouldn't say weak, but in this case he really didn't bring any really strong units. I guess veteran legionnaires could do well, but 3 units of Hastati, they could probably fall to this infantry units from VoidDragon, the very heavy melee infantry. So he's gonna have to use his veteran legionnaires to the maximum, to the fullest. The cavalry composition is pretty similar, I guess. I mean, the numbers are equal. It comes down really to the quality. Of course, Soci-Equitech Extraordinary will have an advantage over melee cavalry, but you know, it's not that much. And like I said, this Baktria noble horse is really, really, really strong. Like, they put a lot of work in the melee combat. Obviously, the biggest advantage, or the biggest and clearest advantage for Kaldazur, are the missiles. He has 6 missiles against only 1 from VoidDragons. So he has to take advantage of that. He has to skirmish. It's hard to skirmish when, obviously, it's hard to skirmish when the cavalry numbers are even, you know, because again, he can just detach 1 unit and go after your archers. But in this case, he wouldn't even need to detach anything because he's got 3 mercenary Scythian horse archers. These units, although they are horse archers and they're really not suited for melee combat, or supposedly not suited for melee combat, you know, they can kill a unit from a charge, a missile unit. Just a single charge, just charge all 3 of them in a single unit, and they'll take it down. And you know, they just pull away and keep shooting. So I think Kaldazur, if he wants to go for pure skirmish tactics, when he just avoids infantry combat or hand-to-hand combat and just shoots as many arrows as he can, I think he's gonna have a hard time doing it with all those 3 units in the back. So apparently VoidDragon is going from the frontal charge. He's gonna send cavalry first. So there goes the cavalry charging the Hastati, the veteran legionnaires. He's just charging all his cavalry into the middle of Rome's formation, and here comes the infantry now to support. He's just went for an all-in, which obviously makes sense, because being so down in the missile department, you don't want to give your opponent a chance to fire all those missiles, you know. So he just went in for all that missile, and now he's charging. I'm not sure this was the right idea to charge us mercenaries, Scythian horse archer, when the fight is, you know, you could charge them to clear it up, but he just charged them to you know, to blob it up, and they still have pretty much all their missiles. A lot of blobbing here. He shouldn't be having 4 units fighting only 1 auxiliary cavalry. He should spread them out and use them more effectively. The elephants already ran amok. They already set amok, so really hard to tell where they're gonna go from now. Okay, so he routed these units, and he's just gonna start rolling, and Rome is getting a mass routed. The elephants come back. If he gets a good charge to the back of Rome, he's just gonna absolutely destroy them with the elephants. You see, this is what I was talking about. The cavalry is just ridiculously strong. Look at the cavalry. Baktria noble horse, all the damage they did, and they still have more than half their men in it. And they pretty much destroy the front line of Rome. Really, really effective cavalry, and I think this is game. This is just gonna be a mass rout, a chain rout. He just basically went for a complete all-in and a massive charge. Rome's general, the legate, is gonna fall. Yeah, I don't think Rome has any chance now. His units are just getting raped. So this is what that's what I was talking about in at the beginning of the game. Like, Rome is extremely cost effective in its units, but you know, you can't just go with like the cheapest, and you know, you can be cheap with Rome, but you can be so cheap to bring just Hastati, because I think he should have brought better quality units. So that's it. That's game. That's a victory for VoidDragon. Very short battle, 5 minutes, and he just absolutely demolished Rome army with that charge. So really, really good fight. So that's the 3rd round. So VoidDragon moves to the 4th round, and Kaldazur goes to the losers bracket to fight for a chance to come back to the winners bracket. I'm gonna see if I can get a losers bracket game in the next one, so we can also give those guys a chance to be on stream. All right, stay put, guys. Enjoy the music, and we'll be right back in a few minutes.